The People's Democratic Movement is at it again, voicing their discontent against the British government and seemingly promoting their agenda as general elections in 2011 loom over the Turks and Caicos Islands. Party leader Douglas Parnell held a press conference with Deputy Leader Clarence Silver and Chairman Samuel Harvey at their Provo headquarters, where he pointed out areas where he accused the British government of failing.
The British government took control through direct rule in the TCI on August 14, 2009. Since that day, the following perceptions are widely held by members of our party and the general voting population. 1. The British government's position is not sustainable in the medium or long term in the TCI. 2. Every election in the TCI has had some form of manipulation by the UK in its desires for conducting elections, all geared against the principles of democracy. 3. Every period of interruption of our democracy has occurred after years of PNP rule categorized by ineptness, mismanagement, corruption, and a patent lack of British good governance oversight within the confines of the Constitution and TCI legislation. 4. Lack of attention, malfeasance, and immorality in the governor's office has led to 34 years of neglect for our people, interruption of national growth, and social development for the Turks and Caicos Islands and our people.
The PDM also took the opportunity to put forward their position as it relates to the British takeover and said they see it as regressive and backward, a far cry from their previous stance, where they were supportive of some parts of the initial UK intervention when former leader Floyd Seymour was at the helm.
The People's Democratic Movement views the suspension of the country's constitution and direct rule by the British government as regressive and maintains its position that the long-term stability and prosperity of the country is hinged on a government that is elected by the people and of the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands. 2. The PDM is convinced that capable, honest men and women are available to be elected to govern our country. 3. The PDM takes the point that the people of our country ought to always be the final determinants of the government of the Turks and Caicos Islands. 4. The PDM believes that constitutional and electoral reform must involve direct negotiations with British policymakers. The PDM believes that electoral reform must involve representatives from our party. We will appoint representatives to oversee the constitutional review process to ensure that our country sustains no loss of constitutional powers. We therefore reject the concept of a caretaker government after elections of 2011, and we assert the right of our people to seek full restoration of constitutional powers to form a government for the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands. B. Reject the idea that the fundamental right for political parties to contest elections as political parties with the right to form the government should be suspended or disbanded. C. We reject the position that the areas of issuing of Crown land, approval of planning permits, granting of belongerships, and development concessions are not to be dealt with by the elected government of the Turks and Caicos Islands. D. We reject any notion that the constitutional review process will not have belongers appointed to the team by the political parties. That's the end of our position.
Parnell said the people of the Turks and Caicos should determine their fate and not have one imposed. Parnell added that as PDMs, they will stand up for the people, and they are calling on all to join them in a massive march.
This morning, February 18th, I am calling on all Turks and Caicos Islanders to come together in a countrywide march on March 8th, Commonwealth Day, to march for our democracy. Let us march in March on Monday, March 8th. I'm calling on all persons across the country, regardless of affiliation of any kind. We want you to march together with us and move in one direction with one voice. Unity is our strength.
The march is slated to start at 9 a.m. from the downtown ballpark and proceed up the Leeward Highway. For WIV4 News, I'm Takara Bain.